Halloween, a bit of a shocker at times tonight.
Yeah, some of our defending. Yeah, it was a tough game. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and I think when the dust settles tomorrow and we look back and we'll look at it as a point gained. Of course, the way that we obviously kept going till the end, found a way to get a goal, fantastic goal again. Robbie and Trick linking up. But obviously we conceded some really poor goals. We could have lost the game, obviously, and but in terms of the chances that they had, and equally we had chances as well. Tricky in the second half, the keeper's pulled off a blinding save, and obviously towards the end, Jake gets him down the side, and we just don't quite get that final bit right. So yeah, it was a helter-skelter game, and we made it more difficult at times than it needed to be. But when you come to places like this, it's going to be hard. Yeah,
I mean, there's no pushovers in this league, and this is not the Vauxhall side that Rich and I saw over at Kidsgrove a few weeks ago. There's some big changes, and and the result at the weekend told you that this was going to be more difficult. Just try and explain to us, if you can, what happened with the second goal, because the goalkeeper looked to come and take control, and then for whatever reason, let the ball go behind him.
Yeah, well, I think obviously he's misjudged the flight of it, but I need to see it back. To be honest, it's very hard and there's lots of bodies in there, but more to the point, the lad at the back post is free. He's got himself free. So again, that's something we need to have a look at, and obviously it's disappointing to concede in that manner.
Because you look to be heading in half-time 2-1.
Yeah, obviously right on the stroke of half-time. It's a really frustrating time to concede the goal. But they were never going to go away. Even if it had been 2-1 at half-time, they're never going to go away. They fought and battled for everything. They're appealing for every decision. But we've got to get used to that. If we're going to be a team that's at the top end of the table, when we play teams who are obviously not at the top end of the table, they're going to have to try and do something to level the game, and They did well at it.
I think everybody's talking about Leek as being the team at the moment, because the run you've been on and the type of football that you're playing, that high press, difficult to play against as well as defend against. So you're getting a bit of a rep.
Yeah, and I don't think the players are listening to that hype and getting carried away at all. I don't believe that's the case. I just believe that every game's different, and it requires different characteristics. Again, today we played on a soggy pitch. I mean, I walked on before the game. I thought, wow, this is
it had standing hybrid pitch, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, but it was standing water on it. I thought, wow, this is gonna right. It's a nice surface, but it's gonna play tricky. The ball's gonna be soaking wet. You've got to really concentrate with your defending. It was the type of night where you probably expect before the game there might be lots of goals, and obviously that proved to be the case.
But I mean, it wasn't the sure start from your side that we used to seeing. I mean, they hit you with the sucker punch very, very early on, and it just seemed to rattle a few, and there were a few misplaced passes, which is, again, not typical of your side.
Yeah. I can't put my finger on why that was. Yeah, certain individuals didn't hit the levels that they've hit, up to this point. But again, I'm looking at it now over a period of 11 games that I've been in charge. We've had the Quorn game where we were talking about similar things, and tonight,
it takes character to come back. Never give up. I mean, that was the big positive, wasn't it, for all Leek Town fans, people who made the trip, people listening back at home. You never give up.
No, absolutely not. And I'd like to think that any team that I'm in charge of will display those characteristics and keep going till the bitter end, because that's what we do all the work for. And we've got a great set of lads, and they're devastated in there that they've scored a last minute equaliser. They're disappointed that they've not come here and picked up 3 points, despite the emotion of obviously scoring at the end in the manner which we did. So we maintain that unbeaten run that we're on, and we continue that momentum, and we go into Saturday's game now. We dust ourselves down, train Thursday, and we go into Saturday's game with an opportunity to try and respond and get another 3 points on the board.
I mean, something good's going on at Leek at the moment. I've been talking to one of the senior players beforehand, and he is absolutely loving life. The way that you approach the game, the way you approach your sessions in particular, the research that you're doing. So you've got them engaged, haven't you? But is it unrealistic for any league fan to think you can operate and the players can operate at that top level all the time?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't believe that the level between South Shields and Fylde and us is light years apart. We've proven that in the way that we played in those individual games, but the difference is that the higher up you go, the consistency, the ability to do it Saturday, Tuesday is higher when you get to obviously the bottom end of the Football League. It's higher again when you get to the top end of the Football League, and it's certainly higher again when you play in the Premier League. So that's the ability. It's that the ability to go again and again and again. And obviously we've got a difficult run now. I've said it a couple of times, and I'll say it again. We play Saturday, and then obviously Tuesday, Saturday, and we've got to make sure that we use the squad intelligently to try and maximise them 5 games now to get as many points on the board. But we're not going to win every game. We're never going to be able to win every game. The pleasing thing is they kept going. We've got something out of it. I think we'll look back further on down the line, and again it'll probably be one where you look at 3 or 4 weeks' time at Vauxhall's results and whether they continue to pick up points and go, that was a really good point that night.
Aaron Opoku limped out of the game in the second half. Is that going to be an injury that you perhaps keep him out for Saturday?
I'm not sure at this stage. I've had a conversation with him. I think from what he said, it sounded more of a dead leg, which obviously is sore, and the impact in that moment means that obviously, over the next 48 hours it will continue to be sore, no doubt. But we'll have to wait and see how that settles.
Now you did say you've got a difficult run coming up on obviously brutal Saturday, and obviously you start turning an eye towards games like the Staffordshire Senior Cup. Is that an opportunity to really use the squad in its entirety?
I think we'll use the squad before that point. I think that game comes in about mid-December, so we've got plenty of fixtures before then, probably 8-9 games. So no, I envisage that the squad will be utilised before that point. We need to, and again, obviously we've brought the 3 lads into the game today, who all in their own way had an impact. I thought both Tom Carr and Jake obviously provided that energy and pace, which we know that they've got. And they were direct and they had an influence in that way, and I thought Tom Riley got on the ball and looked to try and get us ticking. So all 3 of them came in and had an impact, and like I said on Saturday, we need them. We need the whole squad. We're not going to go this whole period of games without being able to make changes, and we've got to use that squad to full effect.
You've got Josh Brehaut coming back in at some point, and obviously the club legend Tim Grice. But are you still looking around? Are you still looking for players? And I know every kind of team is at this level, so it becomes more and more difficult. But is the Josh Brehaut sort of contacts book open?
Yeah, we're always having conversations as a management team, and we're always obviously out watching games, as you know. Certainly Pete, Steve do an incredible amount of work behind the scenes on that front. So yeah, naturally, the nature of the league that we're in and the level that we're at, changes can happen quite quickly. So yeah, we always got to keep an open mind to that without needing to panic at this stage. We've got a really strong squad, and opposition teams, you said it earlier on, opposition teams know that. They're talking about Leek Town as a team that they think are going to be a team up there, and that's testament to the players that we've currently got in the squad.
Well, Josh, thanks for joining us, and again, I think to reiterate that it's definitely a point game rather than